yes, yeah, the Premier League, you know, now big game back over Basso, Ghanaian Saturday, and Manchester United and Sunderland after a couple of years in the lower tier, no, or maybe back into the Premier League. And I'm by also, no, Manchester, my media go this time around. I mean, I'm by with big boys and I'm big results this season. I'm over Old Trafford on Saturday against Man United. A United side are seriously under pressure. Ruben Amorim the boys near seriously under pressure to win because the last couple of games in the Nanyadi training, man, was the Chelsea win, no, United performance, no, IBB or 20 pressure kakraba, but say the Bessia could be no. In the training how Bessia could, but Kovi, yes, you have
Senior, major so.
Yeah, sure. Namia Aduma Saturday 2 p.m. Old Trafford. United hosted Sunderland. I mean, some years ago, and Quebecers United beat me at 5, almost 6, probably 7. Beat me to be a cracker, but the story is not the same. And Mediano, I will be a young game, no. Ruben Amorim seriously under pressure, just like Mikan earlier on. Also, Mutimi grinded victory and Aduma Saturday, but against a very stubborn Sunderland side, or so well in the Premier League. From United Sunderland.
Yes, it looks interesting. Now, just like you were saying, you know, and those days and this game. Yen spend the time on home because Senka straight away a prediction in favor of Manchester United. But unfortunately, he's here at tables Nassisa. Situation at Manchester United it's not like before. United, yes, the name United is there, they have the character, they have the pedigree. But if you want to look at current form, obviously it is never on the side of Manchester United. And if you check so far in the Premier League, United are managed to win like 2 games in the Premier League. One against Burnley and then one against Chelsea Football Club. But in all those occasions, 2 games, even against Burnley, a newly promoted side, we saw how the game went. United struggled and with me a winning by 3-2. It was a very difficult win. And then even the last win they had against Chelsea, it was also a difficult win because United had a very good first half, which Nankumbit actually the game. Unfortunately, we went to a lot of goals in the second 45 minutes of the game. Chelsea also came into the game so well, a boya to the extent at some point it was looking dangerous for United, but in the end, Omutimi protected the 3 maximum points. But you look at this Sunderland side, whilst Manchester United they were like 14th position, as you see, you know, we share league table no so or more end the year, no. You have Sunderland early days yet, but first 5 teams, no, you see Sunderland there, and they've had a very good start. The name may not be that huge in terms of character, in terms of pedigree. You not give it to Sunderland, but as we speak so far in the Premier League, there they've demonstrated say they can be a very good side on any day, especially when they come up against Manchester United side under pressure to win almost every single game be on Bebobia. And because of that, in some cases you don't really get the best out of some of the key players any idea. It looks dicey, looks difficult, but from Manchester United perspective, no, or more at a point where the general play doesn't really matter. What matters most is how to manage to pick the 3 maximum points, because at the end of the game tomorrow, Sunderland are picking 1 point in par. Ebema the conversations around the United team and the manager Ruben Amorim no ebe one that any positive. So what you say, and you know, I think that it doesn't matter how United will play tomorrow. The most important thing is to pick up the 3 maximum points. But how can they pick the 3 maximum points? I think it will take the manager to change a lot of things. That is to play to suit the players.
And now my next question say, una Ruben Amorim, of all these media discussions are also about the style of play near there. I mean, what try for 49 games, it doesn't seem to work. Even though kita number of wins be there, but they're not too convincing. But putting yourself in Amorim's shoe, no. Angaochina against Sunderland, yes, almost performed there, but almost near that huge club. Because I would try to do almost what so. Would you want to try a different formation, a different approach to the game? And as you would still stand by the Amorim and the Amorim GDC and the money results are still our results in mind.
You see, if me, I am to advise Amorim moving into the game tomorrow, enka me words ebe simple, change the way you play. Sir, 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 formation. No, we've always said that it demands a lot of energy from, especially the wing backs, right? And one of the problems at United, as we speak, the players are struggling to play in that system. You see, Sir Amorim Peso Jenny Huachinia, Uncle back when United a party ways with Ten Hag last season, Van Nistelrooy take over. He was playing 4-2-3-1 no. And in all the 5 games he scored, United played so well. The players were playing, yes, you can say a typical of footballers when managers are changed, but clearly you could see that players were comfortable playing in that 4-2-3-1 no. And for me, it is proper. It will be prudent for him to be pragmatic enough to change from the 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 no, and play something like a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. It will suit the players. But one thing that we can expect, and say the manager will not change, because he's made it clear he's not willing to depart from what has made him who he is. And if you want a change, then change the person. But for him to change the way of playing it, he is not willing to do that. And that's one of the problems. I think that Senka Obe Jai BBM what changing the way of playing, Enka tomorrow at the end of the game, pressure beba form. He can still win against Sunderland with that 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, because he did it against Chelsea, even against Burnley and all of that. Even against Arsenal in the opening day, it wasn't easy for Arsenal, but in the end Arsenal won by a goal to nil. And for me, change is something that Amorim in here, but he's not willing to change. And I think that United fans must be prepared. They have to be ready to endure that kind of pain, no? But in the end, I think that tomorrow, what matters most is how United will win. It can be 1 win, 2-1, an ugly win. A win is a win, because in that situation, all you need is to win a game. Keep winning. It doesn't matter how you play. Win. Get the results. In Tiabasa now, the confidence will be back, and then you build on it. We can be assured, he will not change from the way of playing. But I mean, what matters is picking the 3 maximum points. And United character, Old Trafford, the pedigree. I mean, it's doable. They can do it, even though it may be tight, but it is doable.
Realistically, who say? It's not 3 points. I mean, let's not forget Sunderland there with 1 or 2 experienced guys. We talk of Granit Xhaka, and then you can also talk of Abranti and Ede. This Ivorian, Simon Dingra.
Yeah, Dingra. Yeah.
When he was in the almost striker, almost to say goals and more money. I mean, realistically, who say it's not 3 points in the coin?
It looks to me, say United the ability to pick it. All the names now I'm mentioning, and I'm sure we are ahead of the names we have at Manchester United. So in terms of the individual players, in terms of the materials to be able to get the needed results there, United Adingrani, all these guys see. I'm sure we are ahead of the likes of Mbomo, Cunha, Ahmad, Messi, Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and all those guys, right? So for me, United should be able to manage to pick the 3 maximum points. But in a worst case scenario, let's say a point is something that mihuni say anya hwe kradie United ebe pike, right? Don't forget that the pressure and the demand to win will push the boys to a certain level, right? And this is a game and yet an away game, right? It's a home game, and United will play in front of our favorite fans. Even when things are tough, you can be assured that fans will be there to push the players. And for me, between the two teams, if there is a side that, in my view, the chances of picking the 3 points was right, I'll still go for United, irrespective of United form.
All right, so double chance United, right?
Yes.
All right, okay. Yeah, better than senior see her. Kofi start on United Sunderland game on your you know, and so you can flip and then watch the next video know who game I discuss. I mean, a lot of games never so this weekend, and very interesting to know how an Indian ended. But in any case, also share us where we are now. We'll leave you a comment, but don't forget to subscribe to the channel.